Hello Westerfeld RPG. Today is awesome because Scott Westerfeld posted a link to my latest music video on his blog, so I'm really excited about that. Also, I have bubbles. This is probably going to be a very low-key video from me. I have a god-awful headache right now. Without further ado, let's jump right into it, shall we? Favorite book covers, which is the theme that I chose. They say don't judge a book by its cover, but sometimes I find that a little difficult to believe. If you've got a great book with a crap cover, unfortunately you probably won't get as many readers as you would get if you have a great book with a great cover. So I want to talk about a couple of book covers that I thought were just really great. The Angel Experiment by James Patterson. And I'm talking about the original cover, not any of this crap with models, blah blah blah. No, I don't care about it. I know, yeah, there's a model too. There's something really about these original covers, in particular the first book, that really kind of drew me in when I first saw them in the store. I love the kind of backdrop of New York that you see back here, and like the storm clouds with the lightning, with the girl standing there, and the only thing that really bugs me is this like big emphasis on James Patterson's name, like the gold amongst the blue backdrop and everything. That kind of annoyed me. But I really like the fact that you can't quite see the girl's face. The way that Max looks is sort of left up to your own interpretation, as opposed to this one where out of nowhere she's blonde, and yeah, James Patterson really needs to choose. Is she blonde? Is she a brunette? We get mixed messages all the time. City of Ashes. What catches my eye, it's like this metallic color that it has, and the way that it sits on the shelf with the buildings. Again, I don't know, I really like the sort of industrial look of the buildings mixed with the shine. I always love books that are shiny because I am part duck, so obviously shiny things really attract my attention. Another one that I like, but that requires a little bit of explanation, is Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. I think the covers are a little bit cheesy, mainly because they put this Angelina Jolie-esque girl like right in the middle of it all. That's not the part that I like about it. I really like these covers. I really like the backdrop with the buildings and the gates with the roses and the plants and stuff, and the way that it goes all the way around the back with the fence. One of my favorite things about the books are the fact that they're like seasonal. Like the first book starts in fall, the second is winter, the third is spring, the fourth is summer, and so on and so forth. And this gives you like a very fall feel almost, so you can really get a sense of like what the backdrop is going to be. See, we have our character and then we have our backdrop. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it seems very true to the book and the feel of the book and everything. Another one that I love so much is The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon by Stephen King. I guess when you're like a big name author like Stephen King, the selling point really is your name. I really love this cover. I don't know if you can see it very well because of the glare, but you can see it's very clearly a young girl. Very young. She's supposed to be 9. And I love how the shadow sort of blends, whether this is water or underbrush or whatever it is. You kind of have to leave it up to individual interpretation. It sort of all blends up with the trees coming up here, and I love the kind of faint lighting and just how iconic the whole cover is when it sort of comes together and sort of plays out this very eerie scene, and the way her shadow fades into the words of the story just gives you this really nice overall feeling of how absolutely horrifying this book is. Will Grayson by John Green and David Levithan. You see this book and it draws you in because the cover is like colorful and it's really eye-catching, but it's not really obvious. You go into it still with that element of surprise, whereas some other books, even like the Maximum Ride books, you have this character on the front, you have these wings, you have this city. I mean, you already start to get the feel, but with Will Grayson, it really is up to you to pick up the book and read the inside and find out just what an amazing book it is. The other ones that I like that we have discussed before are the original Midnighters covers. I think Megan talked about this before, but if you look really closely, you'll see all of the clock with the emphasis on the 12, obviously, for obvious reasons. And you see all these things that sort of represent different elements of the book, like this sort of barren land behind someone, presumably Jessica, because of the raindrops that are reflecting. And just, I love how you can look down and you see the grass growing down here. Like, it really does look like you're looking and seeing something happen. And you've got like the normal details, grass growing, random straight horizon, and then you've got raindrops frozen in midair and clocks and slightly transparent humans and all of this stuff. It really all comes together to give you sort of this surreal, very interesting, very iconic cover. And then my favorite cover of all time, When the Wind Blows by James Patterson. I don't know if you can see very closely. You see there's like this whole barbed wire fence going back here with all these trees, so it's forest land and mountainous sort of terrain, with this like random little house here and like some weird eerie lights on in the middle of the night with feathers, and just the whole way that it's sort of displayed and laid out on the cover gives you this very almost comfortable feeling. It's like this little tiny house sort of nestled in the mountains, but at the same time it's eerie because of the feather. It's like you know something's going on. And because of the lights on, like random lights on in the middle of the night, it's like you get the sense that something's going on, but you don't quite know what yet, because it's still just this little tiny house and little mountains and everything. I don't really know how to describe it. If you've read the book, you can still look at it and pick things out that represent the book, like the feather and the whole backdrop and everything is very important to the plot. So you can look at this cover for the first time and see, oh, that's pretty or whatever, but then after you read it, you can go and turn it around and look at the cover and see things that you recognize from the book itself. Okay,